Hello, welcome to another Go Battle League video. I took a little break because the Holiday Cup is just not my kind of tea. Maybe we'll have footage from someone else from that. But we do have the Ultra League and this Pokemon that I wanted to showcase. That is the Avalugg. Avalugg is defensively Ice and Rock, which is... I don't know if I can say that in a YouTube video. It's just bad. It's just a really, really bad typing, defensive typing. It's double weak to fighting, double weak to steel, weak to water, weak to ground, weak to grass. Not great, but its offensive moveset, Power Snow, Ice, Rock Slide, Rock, great, and Crunch, Dark. That's a really, really good moveset, to be honest. It covers about pretty much half of the meta. We're going to take a look real quick at what it beats and what it doesn't beat. As you can see in the blue section, there are only very few Pokemon, only really 4 Pokemon that I consider neutral, and then you can still lose them really, which are Steelix, Gyarados, Drapion, and Umbreon. This is basically what I consider the harder meta of Ultra League. And all the other ones are either like hard wins or hard losses. Things like Registeel, Fighters, Waters, Ground, don't even think about winning those. Tapu Fini, you can get to some Rock Slides. We're going to see some footage of that later. But like a Swampert is just absolute no. On top of that, neutral things like Trevenant and Cresselia are so-so. Cresselia, the crunch just does so little, and Trevenant's Seed Bomb or Shadow Ball even just hits really hard, and Avalugg does get outpaced. You generally do win that, but it's not so great. Cresselia, you generally don't win. One of the niches Avalugg has is like breaking Walrein, Talonflame, or Zard. That's one of the niches it had. Even Walrein is so-so, because an Earthquake does a lot. The team that I used, now I'm not gonna lie to you, Cresselia and Registeel obviously carried Avalugg a lot here, and I picked most of the footage that I had that showcased a lot of Avalugg play. But let's be real though, Cresselia and Registeel absolute Ultra League monsters and are very known for that. This team instant loses to a Registeel lead. A fire type is actually more playable than you might think. But this is what I kind of went to. Cresselia is supposed to beat the things like the fighters and the Swamperts that beat Registeel and Avalugg. Let's take a look at my battles here. These are around expert range. I'm currently at the like 28. 40 or something with Avalugg actually. Now this is a terrible lead because all my Pokemons lose to it. In fact, even if I were to take this out, it will likely get to a Rock Slide on Avalugg because Avalugg takes super effective damage from about everything. As you can see, neutral grass knolls don't do as much, and yeah, these kind of battles with Cresselia and Registeel kind of sometimes just take a while because the stat distribution on this Pokemon is huge. Just for comparison, like Cresselia and Registeel have about 5,000. This is a very excel Registeel, and Avalugg has about 4,100. Avalugg is actually not fragile. It's about as bulky as an Alolan Ninetales, which is really not that bad. 3 Earthquakes will take me out. I will get to another Grass Knot here, and I will not CMP with them because I will lose CMP. Cresselia loses basically all CMP. So as you can see, it gets very low. My opponent's farming up quite some energy, which is worrisome because now they can get to a move on my Avalugg. If they go for Earthquake, they will CMP with me. If they go for Rock Slide, they will get it. Oh, actually, they didn't even throw. Well, that's great. Crunch comes in. Let's see if they shield that to get the move off. Then I will come out with more energy. They do not shield that, and in the back is a Tapu Fini. Ah, that's not great. And they answer my Registeel with their Cresselia. I guess they just want it out of the way of that Avalugg, which is fine. This really is mostly a Registeel showcase going to look like. I get that debuff there. That's just wonderful. But this Cresselia, even it has Future Sight, so it is a little bit harder against Registeel. It's probably going to get to so many moves, though, that the Tapu Fini can still put in so much work. Because 2 Zap Cannons don't KO, I cannot even lock on this down. Poor me with my bulky Pokemon. Another Zap Cannon coming in. And what I also found yesterday is that my second Zap Cannon just never debuff. It is what it is. It's interesting. Another Future Sight coming in, and at this point, my opponent is just keeping his shields for the Tapu Fini. That's definitely his win con, and that's the very smart thing to do. This is very unlikely for me to win, because Avalugg just does not have a great, or can it even be great? What's the right word? A terrible matchup. It has a terrible matchup against Tapu Fini, because Power Snow is resisted, Rock Slide only does like, what, 40%? See, first Zap Cannon coming in. Obviously, the Tapu Fini is going to shoot all of these. Hopefully, I get some really good debuffs here. There's the first one. If I can get a second one, that'd be great. Because then I can take the Surf easier on the Avalugg. How long has Registeel been on the field here? Really long. Alright. Zap coming in, and then the Avalugg has to do it. Only one debuff on this. Let's see how far Avalugg can get here. It actually pays pretty fast to the Rock Slides. Surf coming in. It is super effective, but single debuff. And this matchup's taking so long that the timer's coming up. Let's see if I can get to those moves. This is a wonderful Avalugg showcase, not of Registeel. First Rock Slide does moderate damage, and I get to the next one, which is wonderful because this will take out the Tapu Fini. And that is a good and long timeout game. Let's take a look at the next one. Thiago Oliveira. Cresselia into Trevenant. Terrible lead for me, but this is a good showcase of Avalugg maybe. I swap in my Registeel. You'd think this is a bad matchup, but if you get the debuffs and you shoot the first move, you are actually very fine with Registeel here. But I decide to no shoot because I'm thinking they will probably swap out anyway. And I'll get 2 Zap Cannons if I really need to. The Zap Cannon doesn't do as much as in Great League. They can survive 2, and they let the first one go. I get the debuff, which is great, and they swap in their Shadow Charizard. Now, I already know my play here. I just want to get shields down. Gonna shield the first one, probably. Yeah, gonna shield the first move, because it's very unlikely they bait there. And I want to get those shields down, because then maybe my Avalugg can, like, sweep. If this is, like, Trevenant double fire flying, Avalugg is going to be a monster here. And to get their second shield, I will feel cute and throw another one of these. I'm also thinking they might be kind of weak to Registeel if this is, like, their best Registeel answer. Another Zap can come in. Does debuff, actually? Does debuff. Maybe I lied. And I'll let them take me out. They still have to throw a full Blast Burn here to take me out. Like a Dragon Claw wouldn't do anything. Which they do. And I bring in my Avalugg. The Charizard is double debuff, so I'm fine with taking a Blast Burn, I guess. But I don't know if I really am, because that will make Trevenant very iffy soon. You'll see Blast Burn does quite some damage. I'll throw right before her Dragon Claw. I don't even want to take that damage anymore. Rock Slide takes out an entire generation of Charizard. We will not see this anymore for a couple battles. In comes the Shadow Walrein. Now, this is where Avalugg looks actually really good against this whole team. Imagine I say so Avalugg here. Obviously, you never do because it has so many weak spots. But it has a lot of player. My opponent swaps early here. This is actually a massive misplay because Trevenant is what they needed for my Cresselia. And now they eat a crunch, which you see how little that does here. And I will just flex to well, for no reason, to be honest. This Ice Spear does nothing on Cresselia. It may... Yeah, I think it would have KO'd my Avalugg. And that's game over. So Avalugg actually looked really strong against that team here. Alright, next battle. We got Cresselia into... Opposing Avalugg. Looking at their CP, they might be worse than mine. My Avalugg is about CP, rank 850. I couldn't get a better one, and I just didn't want to bother with low friendship traits. I'll throw a Moonblast there, try to catch a move on Registeel. This is honestly kind of iffy, because if they keep shooting now, they will massively outpace me, and maybe even flip this. But with that Moonblast, they are in Zap Cannon range now, so I kind of didn't want to throw that. Maybe even a Grass Knot plus Lock-ons plus Zap Cannon would have done the job. I really need to experiment more with that, to be honest. Crunch coming in. As you can see, I'm already at half HP. Luckily, no debuffs. If they got 2 debuffs there, the next Crunch would have KO'd. And now I can take another one. Zap Cannon coming in, but they let that go. And in comes a Trevenant. Now, what was their lead again? Their lead was the Hisuain Avalugg. And I have my own in the back, which looks kind of good against this Trevenant, especially when I get a debuff here, or just any damage, to be honest. But, of course, no debuff there. See if I can get to another one against this best buddied Trevenant. They throw a move here, actually. Hopefully the Shadow Ball. Seabull might not kill. They do throw Shadow Ball, which is a lot of energy. And I'm actually afraid that they combo play me. I think a Rock Slide does more from Hisuain Avalugg, so I'll let this go. You see it does just a little bit less than 50%. They actually saw me swap pretty quickly here as well, so they throw Crunch. And you can see how little this does to Cresselia. This is why it's not a great matchup for Avalugg. They actually shield that move. I'm very surprised. They want to sweep with their Avalugg, but they're not going to because they're 2 shields down and I'm 2 shields up. Crunch coming in doesn't do that much. I get no debuff, which doesn't matter. Even if they get this debuff here, they wouldn't be able to power snow me down. I think 2 grass notes would take out, with Psycho Cuts probably would take out an Avalugg here. I'll shoot this move to get it off, and then all I need is a crunch against that Trevenant. Because if I no-shoot here and keep the shields for the Avalugg, they might be able to catch a move later, and that might make things iffy. I don't want to let that happen. Yeah, as you can see, now I can get to this crunch. I still have a little bit of energy, but I don't think they will get to here. This crunch will do a moderate 45%, and then the Power Snows will take him out, and that is a good game. The next game, as you can see, I'm at a little bit higher elo here. Cresselia into Obstagoon. This is where I need this. This is generally a favorable matchup for Cresselia because Night Slash does so little and Moonblast does so much. But obviously, if they boost, this gets really quirky. So let's see. Yeah, of course they get the boost. They get the boost. Yes, I can love that. I love RNG. Here comes Moonblast. Do I get the debuff? I do not get the debuff. So yeah, another Night Slash coming in. I might shield that. I do shield that. I wouldn't have KO'd yet. I honestly may have not need to shield it. And I will bait here, actually, because I'm very much expecting them to shield a double boosted Obstagoon here. They do shield that, so that's a correct bait. Is it even necessary? I honestly don't think so. Because look at the counters adding up because he's double boosted. The Night Slash won't take me out just yet. But I don't think I can get to another one. I might faint in like 6 counters after this. So I'll throw the Moonblast and then go Registeel. Yeah, Registeel. I just never shield Registeel basically. I rarely shield Registeel because it's so bulky. All the shields are for Avalugg. And the animation seemed a little bit delayed there. I was hoping to throw in their counter, but it was a little bit delayed. And now they caught on their Trevenant, which is a really good catch. But I will be able to get to a Zap Cannon at least to make this a little bit more manageable. This looks really difficult at this point. If it's like double Ghost, then maybe there's play. But even against like a Giratina, it'd be pretty tough. And I was hoping at this point for a Charizard or Talonflame, which it could still be. You don't know yet. Avalugg coming in. I feel cute, so I catch a move here that will give me a little bit more opportunity. I need to get to a Rock Slide on that Obstagoon before it gets to a move here. And my opponent throws a Seed Bomb immediately. I believe, I'm not sure if I got the debuff, but either way, I'll let it go. A Crusher would do way more. And there comes the Obstagoon. We CMP on the Rock Slide here. That's huge. And now I still have a shield. Rock Slide takes out that Obstagoon. Let's see what's in the back. I have a shield. I need it to be a Zard or a Talonflame. Let's see what it is. It's a Giratina. Now, this is actually a really favorable matchup for the Avalugg. It's a little bit more iffy when they have Ancient Power. But the problem is I'm already so low that Claws plus Dragon Claws might take me out. I know they will get to 2. So, honestly, my win con here is shielding just in case they have Shadow Sneak and Ancient Power. But they have Dragon Claw. I let it go. And that's game over. Very unfortunate. Avalugg in the back would have been great. If they didn't get the boost on the first move, they probably would not have won that. But I got as close as I could, and I'm proud of that, I guess. This is a terrible lead, but this is very playable. The reason why is because Cresselia is so bulky, and I'm going to fake a Future Sight here. Blast Burn tickles. I will fake the Future Sight that will do massive damage to Shadow Charizard, and people who play Shadow Charizard know that. People who play Shadow Charizard know that, because they probably have been hit by a Future Sight at some point. I will have to shoot the Registeel here, though. I wasn't sure about the counts, but obviously Wing Attack has been buffed. That could have been a Zap Cannon, actually. It was 8 and 6 or 5 Wing Attacks. Either way, they would have been there. This will take them out, unless they shoot, of course. That bait was actually really unfortunate, because, yeah, I didn't need to shield that, but I guess that's the point of a bait. And they bait again, actually! And now they come in with Blastoise, so, not a lot of play for my Avalugg so far. I'm really afraid of something like double water. I mean, everyone's ABB Andy at the moment, and there's like no electric types in the meta. This is like the close you get to an electric type. I catch a Hydro here, thinking that maybe my Registeel is really valuable. Just doesn't do much here. I also didn't get a debuff, which is unfortunate because I could have really used that. And they still have a Dranclaw sword as well, which is... Or actually, they're really close to a Dranclaw. See what they what we do here. We go in with the Registeel. Can I get to move before them? I do get to move before them, which is just wonderful. Pokeball takes out his blasters. Now what do they have in the back? They have double water, Tapu Fini. At this point, this looks very difficult. If they let me get to the Zap Cannon first, but they don't, it would have been okay. But now it looks very difficult, especially if they decide to catch. Let's see. Maybe it's not over yet, though. Maybe it's not over yet. This Zap Cannon will do a lot. Massive damage, attack drop. They swap immediately, as did I. But they had a little bit of energy because they baited a Dragon Claw. So now they will get to that Blast Burn. And I don't think I can farm too much here. I don't farm up at all. Okay, that might be a misplay though. Because the wing attacks do way less than the water guns. But I also realized they don't have any energy. So if I were to get to a move... honestly, I may have won that. I only see that now. But I may have won it if I farmed it a little bit more. Because the wing attacks do less than the water guns there. That's a misplay on my side. Could have been a really close Avalugg game. But Avalugg didn't have much play here. Really good Cresselia Registeel showcase. Alright, this is not a great lead. This is a core breaker of the Cresselia Registeel core. And this is just like Shadow Zard. Like, yeah, so you have super effective moves. You don't have bulk. We do. We are a team. So I'm going to throw one Moonblast and then see if I can catch a lunch. That'd be great on my Registeel. But it is also very likely this is their Registeel answer. So Registeel in the back could be good. They even shoot the first Moonblast. Not very necessary. I mean, it is a very fragile Pokemon, so I do understand. And then I catch a lunch to debuff my Registeel. But I want to bait them something like a Swampert or a Scrafty or Obstagoon. Which I honestly didn't even face. I didn't even face a hard Registeel answer so far. Definitely did off stream, I can tell you that, or off recording. Like I faced triple counter even and got really close to winning. Yes, that's how busted Registeel is. And they're actually staying in, so that tells me they might be weak to it in the back. I get the debuff here, which I actually really need because this will allow me to get to another Zap Cannon very comfortably, even if they were to swap into like a Tapu Fini now. The discharge doesn't do much now. I can overfarm just a little bit, get like 20 extra energy. And that won't take them out, which tells me they are very weak to this. And I actually make a misplay here. I thought I was much closer to that Moonblast and tried to snipe them. But it doesn't matter. This doesn't KO just yet. But it will come all down to Avalugg now. And if they have water types in the back, this is terrible. Let's see what they farm me down with. It's Charizard. That's actually not the worst. That really isn't the worst. Because I can one-shot this. Let's see. But it's very likely they will also bait me, so that's not great. Going with the Avalugg here. Let's see what they do. They swap in their Walrein. And at this point, it's kind of over. If they double baited me and then tried to Earthquake me with the Walrein, they win this easily. But all I have to do at this point is to get to 2 moves, and that will be a win. Of course, I catch. Not necessary, I think, but just in case they like double bait and then finish me off with Zard. Than it would have been. So I get 2 Rock Slides here. The third Rock Slide is only 5 Power Snows, and that will win me this battle. Because, again, that will take out an entire generation of Charizards. Alright, next battle, Cresselia into Cresselia. Not great, but I kind of need to stay in for a little bit. I need to bait something out, like an Obstagoon. Or I just need to get a low for my Avalugg here. Moonblast coming in. Which Cresselia can already take. And mine's shiny, so that's great. It doesn't even win CMP though. And I get the attack drop. Really fortunate for me. Let's see. Next Moonblast coming in. This is really a boring matchup, man. If you play like, what was it, Season 3? When Moonblast was buffed. This was the most awful matchup ever because there was like a 30% chance to get debuffed. Now it's only 10%, but it's still a really boring matchup. I'm gonna catch this on the registry. I consider this Cresselia to be quite low enough that my Avalugg can deal with it. So now I can start baiting out something that beats it. And there is what I really need to bait out, because despite being an Ice type, Avalugg does not do great against this because it gets debuffed and fighting is double super effective. I'm actually gonna go for a Zap Cannon here. 2 Focus Blast would knock out, and a Zap Cannon plus Focus Blast would not. But a Moonblast will take them out regardless of what I throw here. So I'm gonna go for that. For the Zap Cannon to make it a little bit more manageable. Maybe I can get to another move, that'd be great. If I can get to a Focus Blast, perhaps I can farm down. I don't even know, but I know that low kick is very weak, so I can get to this Focus Blast here before they farm me down. This would put them like into the red. I don't know how low they get. This might be farm down range, but I'll throw anyway, just in case they throw like 2 leaf plates, which I kind of don't want to take. Grasnot takes them out there. They come with Trevenant, and now it's Avalugg time. Cresselia is at half. Their Cresselia is at half HP, and I can't take on this Trevenant. I think the moves from Trevenant do the most damage, so I decide to shoot that right away. And I should throw my Crunch immediately here because I could debuff them. And that will make it a little bit more manageable. First Crunch coming in. How much does this do? Nothing. I'll CMP with them on the second Crunch here. They will have to shoot this if they want to get this off. And they do shoot that. And I get the defense drop, which might be huge. Because if I can now farm down, I win this match very easily. Future side, actually, I should have not shooted it, to be honest. It does way less. That is, well, less than a C-bomb, I think. Either way, the Trevenant comes back in. I throw another Crunch here. They do shield that. And I think I might be able to outpace. Oh, I don't outpace, but I will survive this Seed Bomb here. Doesn't do as much. If they threw Shadow Ball, maybe they would have had this, because Shadow Ball does a little bit more than a Seed Bomb. And that's a good game. That is a good game. Oh, actually, I went into my Cresselia here. I was afraid of getting clawed down, but I was close to a Grasnot here, so I'll throw that just real quick, and that will actually win me the game. So, obviously, Cresselia and Registry have been really carrying this team. They are really broken, but Hisuain Avalugg has like its niche, but it really needs to be covered very well for its so many weaknesses. I hope you liked the video, and happy holidays. Have a good one. See you in the next video.